to record
All right.
and start recording.
Are we recording now?
Yes, we are.
Hey, I don't want to say your name because you often tell us not to use real names in the stream, but you know who the frick you are. You're not here, so you can't stop me from saying out-of-pocket shit on the start of the video. Butthole. All right.
You could just edit this part of the video out.
I don't think people usually keep those in the pockets, but okay.
We're gonna just gonna to keep him from editing this part out of the stream, every once in a while we're just gonna drop a butthole in chat.
Ew.
Anyway, but yeah, welcome back to Star Wars Manifest. When last we left off, all of you had sort of gone off to your own little corners of the town. Yeah, your own little corners of the town to rest and sort of recoup and spend the night after rescuing the Hay, the young daughter of a local slag farmer, from impending danger, and then fending off an unexpected attack from a small pack of Chris lions, some of the more aggressive of the local fauna. Two of our members, Cole and Shar, went off to their accommodations, the inn, to have a little heart-to-heart and kind of suss each other out, and they both have a little bit of a better understanding of where each other stand. Kanor, I believe, went back and hopped behind the bar to reclaim his previously abandoned employment as the bartender at the Starlight Saloon. Not the first or the last time that he will quit and later reclaim this position.
True that.
That's actually pretty badass. Pitter Patter sat to sort through the scrap that they had reclaimed, organizing it into a system truly understood only by them.
Mhm.
Just truly understood only by, like, there's a bin where it's like, okay, at first I thought you were sorting by metal type, but there's like copper and iron in the same bin, and then what's going on here? These are all different sizes. Like,
Yeah,
what?
so it's metal type, weight, color, taste. There's a whole bunch of different rhetoric for how all of it gets organized.
It's very complicated, and it would be I guess more open to scrutiny if it weren't for the fact that almost across the board, number one, you can find pretty much everything you need at a moment's notice, and like you somehow every time manage to find more precious material than you thought you initially had. It's like, when the is there, how did you do that? Uh so I think best approach is to sort of move us through time a bit and accelerate us to the next morning where everyone I'm pretty sure at some point in the night everyone just sort of goes back to their own little accommodations, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're gonna start off. We have Cole and Shar said they were looking for temporary accommodation at the local inn. Is kind of it's an inn but more long term, so it's basically like an apartment.
A motel.
Yeah, motels usually rent by the hour, but
I mean,
it's a hooker joke. Yeah. In my case, the mystery is figuring out what you're going to do with the other, like, 59 minutes and 59 seconds. But anyway, I believe we said Pitter Patter and Kanor actually do have what do you call it? Like they don't rent a room at the same place. They actually have like an apartment that is more permanent housing, correct? Or do they actually do they stay in the same place?
Uh, I guess it's like a more permanent type housing.
It pretty much
Still
depends
lives in
on
the space, but
what's up. It basically just depends on like how long you've been there and how long you plan on staying there.
um, a while. I don't know how well Pitter Patter tracks time, or if they care to.
It doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of like pretty much like where their accommodations are. But regardless, anyone who is I'll say Cole and Shar, as they sort of awaken, the smell of the breakfast buffet, the continental breakfast, which was also on the stove last night and the night before and the night before. Ben, you would know it as the ain't meat pot.
Very good.
Smell wafting up through the halls. You can also hear the host at the bottom having a loud conversation with somebody.
Okay.
Or having a loud conversation with somebody down the hall. And then a door slamming, and your what was the name of this species I said they were? Tordarian, like the buzzing of wings, like floating down the hall, like angry grumbling.
Okay, so I'll head out of my apartment room downstairs to the breakfast.
Great. Shard, do you think you'd already be there, or are you kind of hanging back in for a minute?
What time of day is it?
Good morning.
It's like 7:30, 8.
Yeah,
Like
I probably
early enough that like early enough that like people who just do jobs around town are like getting up to go to work, but like all the farmers and miners are probably already like out and about.
I wish to insert and say that I am already up and down there because I.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask. I'm assuming you also chose to get accommodation at the same place, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that reminds me. So I should ask. So the last session at the end, that
Start
sort
with
of
them first.
what's up?
Yeah, start with them first because they didn't get to do
No,
anything.
no. Yeah, I'm gonna ask. Well, I'm just gonna ask. So during the latter part of the session, everyone sort of split off to just go to the various areas around town. Do you think Mira would have just gone off to basically just find accommodation for themselves?
Pretty much, yeah. I think it would be a funny coincidence if I ended up in the same place as the boys, considering I didn't mean to.
I mean, it's a small town. There's not that many places to go.
There we go.
I think you said there were like 2.
Well, there's a few places to go drink. There's not a lot of places to go rent a room. That was mostly what you were asking last session is like, where do I go drink? And I'm like, it's pretty much, there's like 3 or 4 places where you can go and get a drink and some food. There's not a whole lot of places to go like rent a room for the night. Now I will ask, so Mira, at the end of the session last time, Cole and Shar essentially had a conversation where they sussed out the particular secret that each are hiding. Do you think you would have like been a part of that or like inserted somewhere in there? It was basically them just sort of force scanning each other and like
Daniel's character, so I already know.
No, I'm asking now, like, do you want to retroactively approach him the previous night and talk about that? Because you haven't really broached that topic since you ran into each other.
Not
Like,
yet.
do you think? Okay, so you would have kind of hung back and like scoped out what was going on.
Yeah, I'm just like watching them. Like,
Okay, but you said you think Mira's already down at breakfast early in the morning.
Yeah, I was early to bed or early to rise.
So you got down. So you got downstairs early. I described it as, you know how when you go to like a Chinese place or like an Asian place, and they have a stove that is basically a jet engine that's pointed at the ceiling with a pot on top.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of those, and there is a pot that is so burnt on the bottom it's starting to turn rainbow. And there are two pots. One is the lunch and dinner pot. It's got a big lid on top. The other, it's basically a meat-smelling stew of some kind that is just always rotating on the burner. The other one is some approximation of like grits or oatmeal or like something in like that beige carb kind of family. Similarly, it never leaves the stove. He just kind of adds more shit into it, right?
Forever soup.
It's the forever oatmeal. Yes, that's the breakfast option.
Forever oatmeal. I'm okay.
It's the breakfast option or the supper option, aka meat and ain't meat.
I get both.
He is a hungry boy. You can request a loaf of inflata bread, which is the bread that basically comes in like a little dehydrated packet, and it inflates into like a big old Southern style biscuit.
Ooh, I would like inflated bread.
Like from The Force Awakens, if you remember.
Yeah.
It's from every Disney property since they had someone program that asset.
Yeah.
And you know what? I never get tired of it.
It's really cool looking.
I
It
have
looks-
tried the ain't meat.
Yeah, he requested the 8 meat. Great. She gets her big bowl of that. The owner of the establishment is a Trodarian, so he's the big Watto like bug looking guy. As he's kind of like buzzing around. It basically, imagine like the front desk of a motel where it's not so much a restaurant as there is like a room off to the side that has chairs and tables shoved into it, and then behind the checkout counter he just has these two burners running with the food. So this isn't like a restaurant, it's just, if you're staying here, this is the food that you get with the room, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It's not the best, but it will keep you alive. This is the slogan written like on the written on the breakfast buffet.
Well, I wish to
So-
go up to the desk and acquire inflated bread and ain't meat.
Great. He is not there at the moment. Like I said, it's as Ben is sort of walking down to meet you, and Daniel, if he chooses to as well. He is not there, as you hear like yelling upstairs. Just it's like you're coming. Ever since you come in here, you upset all my guests. I have complaint every night. As he says, you get yourself in order, or you find other place. And as the door slams, he goes flying down the stairs, muttering just cursing under his breath in Trodarian to himself.
As he passes by me,
Mm-hmm.
I tell him if it's any consolation, I haven't had any problems.
Mm-hmm. He waves you up and he goes, "You give it 5 minutes, this'll change." And he goes, "No, it's good place. Unfortunately, and he says, it is the outer rim. He goes, no telling what he goes, he says this place is a lot like the slag geysers. You never know what is going to pop out and wash up on your doorstep."
That may be so.
Mhm.
But by now you how do I phrase this politely? You should be able to tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think he shrugs and says that he says that for the most part there is very little. He says there are very few personality flaws that I cannot overlook for a few credits.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Mara, he dispenses to you a bowl filled with the breakfast option, and a little pad of the inflata bread to send you off into the dining area. As you see your other two compatriots from your previous adventure, as a little reminder, because you weren't there, and I don't remember if I texted you the breakdown, at the end of the encounter where the crystallions showed up, Cole and Shar used a combination of diplomacy and force trickery to essentially convince them that it would be a better idea to just sort of fuck off rather than actually threaten and engage with them, and you made it out peacefully.
Ooh.
As you then made it back to town. Oh, I should mention on your sheet, give yourself a boost. You have a one-time invoke of a +2 to resources. Because Bale, the farmer who you helped out, essentially agreed to give you, as payment for your help, just whatever slag he would have sold, that he gained from this job. It's like, look, I don't have any actual liquid money, but here's this. It's a resource. It's a +2 to resources, and you can basically choose, like, resources is not just money. Resources is also just anything you are trying to obtain for a specific purpose. So if you said, like, oh, for whatever reason, I need 3 pounds of raw copper, you could roll it for that and just say, hey, I never cashed this in. I have it on my person. Or if you need credits for something, you could just say, I sold it and here's the money I earned. It's a nebulous, hand wavy thing that you can just choose to whip out whenever you need it.
Sounds good.
It goes into your magic bag.
Into my magic bag.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you see your two companions join you downstairs. I'm not sure if the three of you kind of interact in any way, or if this is just like a kind of give each other like the what's up.
I'm going to beckon you both over to the table.
Oh. Yeah, as I come down the stairs, I join you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Are you gonna go get food?
Yeah.
It's breakfast time.
Yeah, I grab one thing from each.
Mm-hmm.
I ask him for whatever's on the menu. I'll have both.
Great. Great. He serves you up a bowl of each. He kind of half-heartedly, like, to almost keep. It's almost like he's like keeping up a performance. Basically tells you that you're lucky he has some of the dinner option left over from last night. You know, without even being here for 12 hours, that pot is never going to be empty.
Mm-hmm.
It has not been empty or cleaned in many moons.
May I take the inflata bread and the vegetarian option?
We don't have any of that this morning. We just have the meat and the not meat.
Yes, the not meat. That is what I would like.
Why don't you just ask for that?
And he slops into a bowl and hands it to you.
Man, I hope.
Gives you a look. Great. As the three of you sit down. Real quick, Kanor and Pitter Patter.
Yes.
Do you think you would like? I'm assuming you can intuit where they're staying. Basically, do you think you two, if you're not staying at the same location, would have at some point exchanged like any kind of details of like, hey, if you meet us, we'll be over here?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine, like, if we were to run into them again, it would probably be at the same place we met them the first time, at the bar.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, so for now,
Sounds small enough. If we need each other, we'll go looking.
but yeah, what do you call it? At the moment, Shar and Cole and Mira, you're like sitting having a peaceful meal. You would Shar and Cole, what's the vibe going on right now after what you've learned about each other last night?
I'm not really acting anything different. I'm like a pretty positive, like laid back kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I am the opposite. I mean, I'm still. My guard is let down a little bit, but I don't have a good analogy for this. I'm just going to say a very guarded, very secretive person. So, like, around these two specifically, my guard is lower, but I'm still weary of, like, people around us who could hear us.
Mm-hmm. I will say it's a pretty sparse room. There's a couple people that are sort of like milling about, but it's mostly everyone's like get ready for work and kind of mind their own business. It doesn't look like a room where anyone really gives a fuck that you're there.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Shar, is Daniel's character, right? Shar, the same way a little kid looks at their parent when they're trying to determine whether or not a stranger is like a safe person, and
Mhm.
whether or not he thinks Cole is cool or not. I'm like, you okay? Like, is he fine?
I kind of look at Cole silently, look back at you silently,
I'm not even paying attention. I'm eating.
and I give like a nod.
You're like, okay,
Mhm.
and I just keep eating.
Great. From outside, you hear like a little bell ringing, and you hear like
A what?
you hear a bell ringing and like the whoop, 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 of like a hovercraft passing by, and you hear just like that ding, 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 ding.
What's that?
Great. You look outside as you hear a call, of somebody, and you know what? Pitter Patter and Kanor, if you guys are awake and kind of milling about, you'll hear this as well. As you hear somebody in the street, announcing, it's like announcing, you know, that, if you've been out in the farms and, you know, your bones are aching, you find yourself cooked by the unforgiving sun, and say, fear no more. I have elixirs and potions to cure all that ails you. And says that if you are an older man, these will make you feel younger, and say younger and more vigorous than you were in your prime. Elixirs and potions for sale. Miracles in a bottle. Yes, that is the idea.
Mhm.
As you do look out and you do see a serpentine man. He does have legs, like he's not like a full snake, but you do see he does have the king cobra like thing going up around the sides of his head. Scales covering his body, again, very like reptilian serpent like. As he pilots this hover cart, ringing a bell. Decorated, you see, it's like a mall kiosk basically, where it's like the frame of a hover cart and then shelves on it with lots of like glowing multicolored bottles. Advertise. What's up?
Oh no, continue. I was gonna ask something
No.
about them, but you might answer the question.
No, they're just advertising like a variety of cure-alls of like, you know, this one is for like if you can't, this one is for if you can't sleep, this one if you can't wake up, this one is to cure like your aching bones, this one is to vanish the fog from your mind after a long week of your troubles. It's just like a whatever ails you, I have the cure here in this bottle.
Yeah, so they're liquid, right? Would you describe them perhaps as oils?
It doesn't look like it. Funny enough, I mean, you can't like see exactly what it is. It just from this, it just kind of looks like a little glass tube with a little metal stopper at the end of a vaguely glowing substance. Like I said, anyone who can hear outside, can hear this guy. He arrived recently, for those of you that have been on the planet. He's getting pretty popular. I mean, the people who have taken him up on his offer seem to swear by it.
All right.
As he stops by the front door and peeks his head in. And he says, "New travelers and guests in our humble town." As he, walks in or like leans into the little breakfast parlor to like take a bow and introduce himself. As he describes that his name is Oyale. And he tells you that he is a humble merchant and healer. And he asks if he can interest you in one of his miracle elixirs.
Well, there you go. He's not selling oils, but his name is Oyale. So.
Yes, instead of a snake oil salesman, he is a snake salesman, Oyale.
Mhm. But he doesn't sell any snakes.
No, he is a snake. He is a snake salesman.
I see.
But yeah,
Yeah,
he
before
asks
you
if,
said his name, I was going to ask if he was a snake oil salesman.
Mhm. No, but yeah, he asks if any of you would like to partake of one of his miracle elixirs. He looks at Ben, your character is like kind of old in the picture. How old does he look in real life?
Probably about that old, like 60s.
Great. He asks you, that you look like it's like you look like a wizened, man, surely seen your fair share of the galaxy, but he tells you that time comes for all of us eventually.
Did
And
he
he
come
asks,
into the
he's kind
inn?
of like, he's kind of like leaned. It's not a huge room. He's kind of like, basically like if someone leaned into a door frame and is like talking across a small room.
Right.
As he's like asking you how you would like just for a couple hours, just for a moment, to be able to turn back the clock 20, 30, 40 years to your prime.
I after a few moments after he stops talking, look up from my food that I am still currently eating with a mouthful of food, and like try with a mouthful of food to go like I point at myself. I was like, huh? Like you talking to me? He's
Yes.
totally not paying attention to anything.
Right, he says, yes, you good sir. Mhm. Though he does tell the two of you as well, gesturing to Shar and Mira, that the offer is extended to one and all. As he says that that he guarantees you a 100% success rate. That whatever troubles befall you, mind, body, or spirit, they can be banished in a moment by the wonders of modern medicine.
This sounds like a load of bantha fodder.
Mm-hmm.
I
Great. He looks at you
swallow.
and he goes, What did you say, young man?"
I'm like almost 40, but I understand that I'm an alien, so I do look weird.
Great. He asked you what you said, good sir. We were unclear about the age of these characters. It's also even funnier imagining Ben as being this like laid back hippie, but he's like in his 60s because he goes from being like a wide eyed young man to Jeff Bridges from The Big Lebowski.
I guess that's what I look like. I never saw The Big Lebowski. Is he like a positive?
Look up the dude from The Big Lebowski.
No, I know. I just fucking said I know what he looks like.
Sorry. Yeah, he pretty much is just utterly unbothered by everything in existence.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much.
That is the sentence is
more
unbothered.
like positive and like kind of easygoing. But
yeah, no, he just wants to like go bowling with his friends. That's his only motivation, is a laid back dude who wants to go bowling.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so he looks at you, Daniel, and he says, he asks you what you said, good sir. And he tells you, don't be shy, speak up, speak up.
I said nothing of importance.
Hey.
Meanwhile, your petter is coming up from behind looking at the potion thingies.
Great. It's, like I said, it's a hover cart. There are a bunch of little glass vials, a couple inches long. You see one row of them is glowing red, one row of them is going like a bright yellow, one of them is glowing blue. Like they're all sorts of colors over the spectrum. None of them really have labels that you can see, but like, yeah, none of them really have labels of like specifically what's in it. But you do see that there are like signage posted on the shelves that say like basically just like for aching back. It's basically if you're like actually up close looking at it,
Mhm.
you actually notice that like they're just kind of slapped on there arbitrarily.
Okay. I pick up a red one and a blue one, and I
Great.
hold them up next to each
Please,
other.
great. Please, I'm gonna need you to make me a. Is there a thievery skill?
I'm not currently stealing them, but there is such
You
a there's
uh, you are trying to remove this man's property from his car. All right, so you know what? Nah, fuck it. You don't need to. Great. You're just like picking them up and examining them. Make me an investigate check, or investigate or lore if there's a specific thing about them that you want to discover.
I'm good at investigate. I'll do that one.
What are you trying to look for?
I pick up a red and a blue one because as far as I'm concerned, purple is a good color. And I'm examining them to figure out how much of each one I would have to mix together to get the right shade of purple.
Okay.
Because I feel like I could use this stuff potentially as a new type of fuel for my robot, and purple just seems like the right color
Okay.
for fuel for that.
You gather that you would need it's like a 2-to-1 of like two parts blue to 1 part red.
Okay.
And that will make the exact same shade of purple as you. But yeah, I was gonna say he also great. He also looks at Mira and he goes, "What about you, young lady? Is there any?" It's like, and he asks you to tell him if there's anything that ails you, and tells you that like to not be shy, speak up, speak up. And he says that the the wonders of what he the wonders of his product cannot be overstated.
The only thing that's bothering me right now is that I'm trying to eat my breakfast and you won't leave me alone.
Great. He kind of takes the hint and like backs off away from you. Ben, I forget. Did you actually respond to him of like, do you want to turn back the clock 40 years?
No, I didn't get a chance to yet.
Okay, yeah.
When he says that, I tell him basically to the effect of that, like, I wouldn't give up my wisdom for the world.
Great. He bellows out a
Im-
laugh.
implying that like me, like regressing in age would also regress in wisdom as well.
So you took it literally that you would actually be turning back the clock, including like
Yeah, kind of like
you would sort of appear as a young man, like, who are you people? Where am I?
well, yeah, no, more like a joke. Just like, oh, you want me to be younger? No, all this wisdom was hard earned. I'll keep it.
Great.
Thanks.
He laughs and tells you that that is the beauty of what he's offering you, and says that you could have all of the wisdom gained through hard fought years. Like all the wisdom gained through your hard fought years, but no longer restrained by the ravages of time in like the limitations of your physical body, and so that you could have the wealth of knowledge of a wizened elder, but the vitality and youth, or like the vitality and vigor of youth.
Mm.
Kanor, do you have any interest in what this guy is, this shtick, or are you just like staying out of this?
Oh, I was waiting and watching.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me,
Yeah.
do you have
And he goes,
anything? Do you have anything in that little sack of yours that'll take me out of this incredibly horrid vale of tears and put me in a place something like Tahiti?
so real quick, Ben, do you have any response to him Basically saying you can keep all your wisdom, but just be stronger and younger.
No, I'd let
Mhm.
Kanor interject.
Great. He laughs and says that finally we have ourselves a man of true vision. What is your name, good sir?
My name is your customer. If you have what I want.
Great. He reaches over and he snatches up a green and a blue vial. And he is like gesticulating with them wildly, saying that he tells you that the green will transport your mind to a realm of pure bliss and tranquility. While he says that the blue will relax any aches and pains in your body and make you feel as like light and fresh as a newborn babe.
What does the sticker next to the red one say it does?
Sticker next to the red one. That one says that it is to like cure aches and pains in the body.
Okay, so the blue and the red do the same thing.
Are you inquiring this to him?
Yeah, sure. Because he said that he said out loud that the blue does that. And I see the sticker next to the red says it does that.
Great. He looks at you and he says that these concoctions and elixirs and their effects on the body are varied and nuanced. And he says that just because two instruments play the same note, you would not say that I'm trying to think of like dumb sci-fi names for instruments. Basically says that like
Valicord. It was the Valicord. That's the one from Han Solo movie.
great. He says great, you got another one, Ben? I'll give you an inspiration point if you can name a second dumb sci-fi instrument.
The Gwelgfark.
What?
You've never lived until you've heard the beautiful, sultry tones of the Gwelgfark.
What was the other one, Ben? It's Gwelgfarg and
A Valicord.
Great. He says that just because the Valicord and the Blobfarg, these are flying out of my head as fast as I'm hearing them. Just because they play the same note, you wouldn't expect them to be substituted in the same song. And says it to you with kind of like a beat it kid kind of tone, like it's a dismissive, like, it's complex, you wouldn't understand kind of thing. As he asks you, Kanor, which one of these you would and ask them like which one of them you would prefer.
Well, I'm a daring sword. I'll take them both.
A
What do they say? A fool and his credits are soon parted.
A wise choice, sir. But he goes that I see no fool here, except, and he kind of gestures in like a very this kind of a laughing tone. Except all those around, and he said the only fools he sees are the ones who have yet to realize that paradise is at their fingertips. As he takes your credits and hands them off to you.
Mm-hmm.
As a Pitter, he asks you if you would as well like to partake in or it'd like to partake in one of these in one of his fine elixirs.
Oh, how many credits do I have? And
So the way credits work is basically if we're just gonna do the resources roll. If you ever do something that's a significant enough purchase to require a substantial amount of money, like more than the nebulous amount of money that you have in your pocket, I'll ask you to roll resources.
oh, thank goodness.
And if you pass the DC, you get it. The boost that you got last time is the +2, like from the scrap you had. That just means that if you're like, I want to buy a car, if you succeed on the roll, you had enough money and you don't need to do it again. If you fail the roll, then it establishes that you do not have a lot of money at that moment. But then
Copy.
you can go, oh, but I had this emergency. So basically, if I ever reward you with credits, I'm not going to reward you with a concrete amount. I'm going to reward you with a narrative hand wave that says that for some reason you had that amount of money. Because little known fact about RPGs, no one has ever actually enjoyed keeping track of how much in-game currency they have.
That's why I said thank goodness. That's because no,
Yeah.
I have never.
But yeah, Pitter, he asks you if you would also like to partake in and understand the miracle of his product.
Okay, 2 blue, 1 red.
Great. He tells you that it is a wise purchase that you will not regret. He takes your credits as well.
Yep.
He inside the bar, he seeing that there's no one really biting here, he bids you all adieu.
Well, before he goes, I want to
Mhm.
make sure I do this in front of him. Like, even if it's just like as he looks in the bar, he's like turning to go. I
Mhm.
uncork all 3 of them, take out another, I don't know, like a flask or something that's empty, and then I
Sure.
pour all of them into the same thing at the same time.
So the minute you do that, you smell a violent chemical. Like if you've ever opened like a fresh thing of turpentine that's been sitting in a hot car, like that, like really intense chemical smell.
I immediately cork it and like screw the top closed and
Mhm.
shake them.
I was about to say there, Pitter Patter, you might want to wait until you get yourself a mixer.
Right. He doesn't question it. He looks at you, and he tells you that you are clearly a customer of refined and daring taste, and to come find him, and basically like come seek me out again. Basically, this is when you run
Oh, I
out.
won't have to. I know you'll be back around.
He laughs, shakes your hand again, bids the rest of you in the bar adieu, and then shuffles off.
I look up at Kanor. I'm gonna try putting this in my robot.
I'm going to walk back into the bar and go behind the bar,
Uh-huh.
grab 2 shot
Well,
glasses,
okay.
going to break the vials and pour each vial into a shot glass.
Okay.
Then I'm going to take a shaker, spray some club soda into it, pour the 2 shots into the shaker, pour a bunch of ice into the shaker, shake it all up, and serve it in a martini glass.
To who is drinking it?
Me.
Great. I'm gonna need a roll. I'm gonna need 2 rolls from you immediately.
Sure. Which? How many?
I'm gonna need physique and will, DC of 3.
Physique and will. Here's 1 physique.
Okay. Do you want to succeed at a minor cost or just fail?
Oh, I'll fail.
Great. Let's roll that will check to see if you can remember what happens to you next. Fantastic. I'm assuming just fail for that as well.
Sure.
Great. Until I say so, go ahead and give yourself. Go ahead and put a boost on your sheet that just says Miracle Elixir.
Where do I put boosts? Under abilities?
Notes is where I think everyone else has been putting them. Yeah, just put it on there. It says Miracle Elixir. You get a free invoke of that. For the next like little bit, basically it's like an encounter power. You feel fucking amazing. Like he was not kidding. You feel like a man in his early 20s physically. Your mind has never been sharper. It's like that scene in Limitless. Like you are remembering information like more than you've ever thought of it, or like faster than you've ever thought of it. You are like colors seem brighter, smells seem richer. Like the air on your skin feels warmer. It's fantastic.
Wunderbar.
Hmm. And we'll see if there can't possibly be any negative ramifications to that whatsoever. Oh, I said he's been around a couple times.
Yeah, so I would know this guy.
I mean, you'd know him as, like, he's kind of new, but he's one of, like, the local color.
We were just in a firefight and I was looking to get fucked up. Did I get fucked up?
Oh, you are so fucked up.
Great. That was the end goal.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we'll just see how long you can hold on to that +2 there.
Peter
Sweet.
is watching this carefully as they have just seen this man ingest part of something that they intend to put in their robot. And they're pretty sure, like, people aren't supposed to drink the same stuff the robots do.
So I will tell you, from the outside, right?
Mhm.
You ever seen, like, a glitching video where it's going really slow, and then all of a sudden it's going really, really fast, and it's trying to catch up with the stuff that's going really, really fast, and then it's back to normal-ish, and then going really, really fast, and then it'll pause for, like, a really long time?
Uh-huh.
That's what's happening to Kanor.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, for the other, what do you call it? For the other patrons in the currently at the inn, is there any follow-up, or you guys just going about your day?
Dude, what the heck?
Sorry.
Go on.
I should throw it.
I'm gonna go put the stuff in my robot.
Great. It's not, like, combustible. Like, it's not a it's not like a fuel source. It's a medicine.
Hey, maybe my robot also needs medicine. It was in a tough fight yesterday and it got hurt.
You know what? Roll me craft to see if you can somehow figure out a way to convert what this is into fuel. And I actually have an answer if you can get above a. Yeah, I was gonna say a 3. So you know what? You know what? Yeah, fuck it. That'll do. I will say you don't fully manage to make, like, gasoline out of this, right?
Mhm.
But there is, as you're kind of analyzing it, there is something in this that, like, it is closer. I'm going to use a real world analogy here. It is, if normal medicine is 100% medicine and 0% battery, right?
Uh-huh.
This is like 70-30. Like, it's still by a definition sense medicine, but it's far closer to a battery. Like, you can get at least a little bit of juice out of it, and you don't think you should be able to. I will also tell you.
Red after all.
What's that?
I'm looking at it and seeing it's not putting out quite as much power as I had hoped, but still some. And I'm thinking, maybe I didn't get enough red after all.
It sort of raises more questions than it answers of, like, it's putting out a little bit of juice, and you're like, what's going on here?
I mean, from the beginning of seeing this and determining purple would be a good color for it, I believed that it would work. And, I just have a kind of intuition about these kind of things. So, like, I knew something would come from this.
Yeah.
Just like it hasn't quite reached its full potential yet. I'll probably have to mix more colors into it.
There's something there. There's something there. I feel like it's Petters kind of smacks their head like, I have 2 different shades of purple on me.
Mm.
Duh.
I think it's doing me just fine.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the people over at the inn, Shar, Mira, and Cole, are you guys going to join them at the Starlight Saloon, or are you just kind of hanging out?
I'm gonna go to the Starlight Saloon.
Yeah.
As you go over to, I'm assuming just kind of following your wayward companions out. Great. You walk in. Cole, you're immediately getting a weird vibe off Kanor.
Cole is not here at the moment. He's putting the child to bed.
Great. Shar, you're getting a weird vibe off Kanor.
I assume it's from the drugs he took that were definitely drugs.
They are miracle elixirs.
They are miracle elixirs, see?
What up?
Yeah, I said you're getting a real weird vibe because if you chose to follow your friends back into the Starlight Saloon, you're getting a real weird vibe off Kanor right now.
Me?
Yeah, like as someone who's more like naturally intuitive, real weird vibe.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like, yeah, I'll do it.
Did I see him drink some of the shit?
You walked in pretty much right as he poured both vials into a mixer, made them into a martini, and drank it.
Then yeah, sure. I've seen people like get fucked up before.
Sure.
This is not. He's not drunk. I will tell you that.
Yeah,
No.
my rationale was we were just in a huge firefight. I need something to
Mhm.
calm my nerves.
Mm.
Great. I will say, as you all are sitting there, you hear another larger hover skiff park outside.
Oh shit, here it comes.
As you hear like heavy boots walking up to the door.
Oh
Fuck.
boy.
Fuck.
The door opens. You see a man standing in there. Older gentleman, maybe in his like close to Cole's age, probably in his 60s. Big bushy beard. As you do see a badge pinned to the side of his chest.
Oh, nice.
As he kind of like surveys the room, you do see a few people who have like Sabat cards out already starting a game, kind of like more or less like cards away and kind of do the old like, ooh, better be hitting the old dusty trail. Like a few people just kind of immediately close up.
That's interesting. Normally, like shit like that usually flies okay in the Outer Rim, and any kind of law enforcement that isn't the Empire
They're not like
normally is chill about stuff like that. They're not like assholes.
they're not like
no,
they're not like panicking running away, but it's more a vibe of
just like moseying on out of here.
it's like an understanding of like as long as I don't see it, I'm not going to say anything. So let's make sure he doesn't see it. Okay.
right.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna give in this sumbitch's line of fire, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. As he walks in, uh, he walks up to you. He goes, barkeep. You would know him, by the way, as the sheriff in town. This is Sheriff Harrond.
Sheriff Harrond, what can I do for you?
Looking for the posse rode out last night after Bale's girl.
You're gonna need to give me a little more than that.
Great. He looks at you confused, and then he kind of like spots the vial, like kind of on the bar in the trasher, and just kind of gives you like a real disgusted look and shakes his head.
Well, he was just by.
Great. He turns around and he goes, I'm looking for those that rode out last night. Looking for that girl what got kidnapped by the Glanda gang.
I look over at him and give like a head tilt and just go, "Hi."
You were part of that group?
Maybe.
Is there something wrong with her?
And he goes, great. He kind of straightens up a bit and he says, just came by to give them my thanks is all.
You're welcome. And I go back.
He nods to you and says, I was called away on duties at the governor's mansion. Or at the called away at the governor's house, and normally I'd have ridden out myself, but I didn't hear about it until it was already all over.
Oh, you didn't miss much.
And he says, great, kind of shakes, and he says, well, lucky for that, but nonetheless, he says, I owe you a debt of thanks, at least insofar as that's concerned. He says, will the rest of your group happen to be here?
A couple of them.
Well,
Some of them, yes.
he raised an eyebrow at you.
I can pass the message along, but I appreciate it.
He nods at you and just says, "As I said, he's normally I'd have gone myself, but no." He says, "Duty calls and all that." And he kind of says it with like a little slight roll of his eyes, like he wasn't like it is a. He
Right.
seems genuinely upset at the fact that this is his job and somebody else had to step in and essentially enact vigilante justice because I was dealing with bureaucratic bullshit.
Right.
I think I'll be doing that. Thank you very much. To Kanor, that is.
Okay.
But yeah. As he yeah. Just kinda like, thanks you for like unfortunately the fact that he wasn't able to be there for it, but he says, within reason, if there's anything that I can do for you. Or he says, once they make themselves known, if there's anything that I can do within reason, come find me and let me know.
Peter looks at him and says, I accept scrap and fuel sources.
I think he kind of nods. He says, he says they got an old hover, basically like an old hover bike.
Yes.
He says they confiscated it from some. It's like they confiscated it off some kid. Says, who knows even where he got it, but and he says he was running around town with it. Damn near ran. It's like ran a couple people off the road, so I took it. And he's like, so I took it off his hands. And he shrugs and says that says that at the moment it's gonna be like basically just staying in the impound. If you want to tear it apart and see what you can get out of it, consider it done.
Yes.
Tells you can come by and claim it whenever it's like you can come by and claim it later. Like he says I ain't doing much good with it, and just says like he ain't doing much good with it, and the kid certainly ain't getting it back.
How much later?
He says he's got to go process that one out in the back. As you look outside, and the vehicle he rode up on is basically you see a giant metal box that is basically being pulled on the front by two like energy cables, and then what is basically a chair with handlebars. So picture like the front half of a bike that's basically towing this thing. He says, I got one out there, and once I finish processing that one, you can come by. You can come by and collect it.
Okay.
She kind of addresses the room, like waiting to see if anyone else is gonna speak up.
I don't know if I should.
If you want to give me an empathy roll, you can get a more specific vibe.
Does this guy look Empire?
I'll take a look.
Hell no, he looks like a small town sheriff. Again, this town isn't under Imperial control. The Empire has a base here, but it is an independent colony.
Right. So you said there's what was it again?
What did I say? What did I ask? Hello, what are you asking?
For the empathy check.
Give me a 1. He's not a deep guy.
I did get a 1.
Okay, that's just a succeed, right? Or is it succeeding at a minor cost?
I think tying is at a minor cost, yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it's that difficult. He's being pretty genuine. I'll say 1 beats it.
Okay.
Like he just seems like a tired older guy. He's being very genuine of just like if anything, the only thing that he's hiding is trying to like be more professional than he probably wants to be.
Fair.
Just he seems like someone who he seems like he's kind of embarrassed that he's in this position.
What, like beholden to this governor that's annoying?
Look, but holding to the governor is annoying, but more so just like I'm the sheriff of the town, and my job description is when bad shit happens to people, I'm supposed to go fix it and prevent bandits from kidnapping children. And I was dealing with whatever's in the back of that cart and at the governor's mansion, and instead a bunch of random tourists basically had to go and sort it out for me, and that's a bad look on my jacket.
Yeah.
Daniel, as far as like his look, no, he does not look Empire in the slightest. The badge is like the sheriff's badge of this independent colony.
He looks
Good,
like
that's what I
Cobb
need.
Vanth.
Basically he's like old, like leather, well worn in leather and denim clothing. Looks like just a hardworking guy who kind of through one way or another found himself in this position and is just trying to keep it straight.
I still don't think I would tell him. Like, I'm more in the mind of like the less people who knew I was there, the better.
Sure.
And what did you say he was giving to Pitter Patter?
Basically, some like dumbass kid got the space equivalent of like a shitty dirt bike and was going for a joyride around town and almost crashed into somebody. So he confiscated it a few days ago, and the guy's parents said not to give it back, and he's obviously got no use for it. So he's like, "Fuck it! If you want to come by and tear it apart and see if you can get the transmission out of it, I don't give a shit. It's just gonna rot in my yard." So he's basically saying, like, if I can do something for you within reason, I owe you at least that much.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Mira, I'm assuming you're kind of following his lead, or
I'm kind of like trying not to be in the center of attention. Like I'm not like I'm not taking credit nor accepting anything from this guy at the moment.
Yeah.
Ben, what do you do?
I kind of tell him like appreciate the kind words, and if I need anything, I'll let him know. But it was no sweat. I'm always happy to help anyone in need.
Tips his hat to you, and he goes, "Don't suppose by any chance that," he goes, "Don't suppose by any chance those boys from the Glanda gang, any of them managed to get brought in warm?"
No, unfortunately not. One of them got away, I think.
Well, some of them ran.
Yeah, a couple of them ran.
He nods and says that'll be tomorrow's headache. I only ask because at the very least, if you'd managed to bring in some of them, you could have made yourselves a little bit of money over at the guild.
Now he tells me.
Oh, there's a Bounty Hunters Guild branch in town?
Yes, he does tell you that there is a guild hall. He doesn't care much for it himself, but he doesn't care much for the business of it himself, but he's not going to begrudge any man in this part of the galaxy who wants to, get paid for, who wants to get paid for bringing someone in what deserves to get brought in.
Yeah, I was just looking to do a good deed. I'm not the bounty hunter type.
I mean, he was more mentioning it in terms of like, if you kind of gathered this was him also like trying to subtly suss out, is that why you were doing this? Like he's kind of trying to get a read on you as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he kind of nods at that. Yeah, like I said, just kind of nods to you about this. Hey, do me a favor. Anyone who's like sitting by the window, roll me a notice, difficulty 1.
Notice, difficulty 1.
I don't know where we were sitting, but I assume it was probably close.
I'm at the bar. Is it by the window?
No, probably not.
Okay.
So it'd be a 2. It'd be a 2 for you.
Okay.
Even if I'm by a window, I'm probably not looking out of it. So
Okay.
I didn't notice shit.
continue with whatever project Pitter is currently working on.
Well,
Great. Yeah, Ben, I'm gonna say you look over and you kind of spot through the window. You can see like the big
Through the wall.
like the prisoner transport that he's sort of towing behind him.
Mm-hmm.
You see someone sitting in the back of it. And they just kind of look up and kind of lock eyes with you. You see it's a man, just kind of like sitting down on the bench inside, more staring at the wall. You see, strikingly, you actually don't recognize like the look of him. It seems weird to say like the race or the species that he is. You see he has bright blue skin, and out of his face and around his head and jaw, you see crystals growing through his skin, almost like a carapace.
Ooh.
Okay.
And you see he like locks eyes with you and just kind of holds your gaze for like a beat too long.
Interesting. Can I roll force sense to get an idea if I can like identify this person or see any vibe off of him?
You can roll it at a. So you're trying to use force sense, but specifically for like an empathy roll.
Kinda, just to get any idea of information on him. Like, is he trying to communicate anything to me? How is he feeling right
So
now?
that would be more. Yeah, I guess it's basically like a force assisted empathy. Rolled at a 2.
Okay. I got 2.
Do you want to succeed at a cost?
What would the cost be?
That sends chills through my blood.
Also,
cost-
did we refresh since the combat?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
The cost is going to be. The cost is going to be he's going to know what you're doing.
Like he knows that I'm
Like he's gonna recognize the presence. If he knows what the force is, he's gonna recognize that it's the force. If he just knows that like it's something weird, he's gonna recognize it as something weird.
Okay, that's fine.
Great. You don't feel the same connection like you did to Shar, right?
Okay.
But you connect with something. Like you definitely, when you reach out to him, there is a intention that he is like directing at you. And he's trying like very hard. Like he's like something is reaching out at you, but you can't quite get a gauge of like what is happening. But this is not just a guy who's kind of like ambling around.
No, he's been arrested, right?
No, but I'm saying it's not like, oh yeah, I'm looking through like the drunk tank and caught someone's eye. It's like, no, he's like looking at you and your party with some kind of intent.
Okay, what, like hostile intent or?
He's just found something very, very interesting that he was not expecting to find, and he really wants to find out more about it. He's not sure how to feel at the moment. Like he's not sure how to feel about it, but it's just like a, I'm sorry, what the fuck? Kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, I'll ask the sheriff. What did the sheriff say his name was again?
His name is Sheriff Heron.
Fatigue justice. No,
Oh my
sorry.
God. Sheriff Heron?
Heron.
Herrond. Herond.
Harend. Herond.
Herond. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't suppose his first name is Red.
No, his name is Kenneth.
Interesting. Okay. I'm going to ask the sheriff. I'm going to nod to the guy outside and just ask, what's his story?
Oh, him? Wakes off and he goes, one of the natives off the planet. Is he He says they don't normally come too near town and keep to themselves out in the wilds mostly, but for some reason last night they caught that one wandering around the governor's property. He shrugs and says, apparently it gave him the heebie-jeebies, and well, technically he was trespassing as he was inside the grounds, so rules are rules. I got to bring him in. Gave him the chance. I told him I'd let him go if he'd explain himself, but I can't get him to talk. He's not in any kind of damn way that makes sense.
I see. Well, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just says every time he speaks basic, but anytime he opens his mouth, nothing but gibberish comes out.
Weird.
What specifically was he saying, if I may ask?
Something about fire and wind. Kind of waves it off and says, like, it was late and I was already, like he says, between you and me. He says that between you and me, I was more concerned about, and he says, dealing with the governor at the time and hearing out his. Let's just say I already had one person spouting a bunch of double talk gibberish at me. I wasn't too concerned about having two on my hands.
Understandable.
I don't even know what the hell he was saying. I gave him the chance to explain himself. If he can tell me clearly and in his own words what the hell he was doing there, I'd drop him back off at the edge of town. He either can't or won't, so I'm gonna let him cool off in the cell for a few days.
Strange.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Hey, yeah. Ben, like I said, you look out the window. He is still like very intently. Even as you kind of like move over to talk to the sheriff, you see his eyes following you.
Mm.
Like even more intently than when you were first looking at him. Like he is now like locked firmly on you.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he kind of bids you all farewell and heads off.
All right.
I will say as he heads off, Kanor,
Yes.
remember that +2 boost that I gave you earlier?
Yeah.
Go ahead and take that off your sheet as a sledgehammer impacts with the front of your skull.
Oh, damn.
You suddenly feel like your brain has been blended into a liquid and is trying to exit every orifice on your body simultaneously.
Kids, don't ever drink a Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. This is what happens.
The rest of you watch him fully just collapse.
I head over to him.
Me too.
Kind of check it, like slap him in the face a little bit and see if he's okay.
I knew that snake
Great.
guy was bad.
You kind of slap him, and then like a full 5 seconds later, he says, "Ow."
Oh, like he's still conscious.
You don't know if he's conscious, but he's awake. Like the lights are on. It's doubtful if anyone's home.
That's fine.
Can I make a roll to try and push through this?
You absolutely can. Give me a physique and a will. It's going to be a difficulty of 4.
Oh, boy. Well, that ain't gonna do it.
Great. You are laying on the floor. As good as you felt earlier is how bad you feel now.
Okay. I can deal with that.
Yeah, please go ahead and add a I'm gonna say, yeah, damn, that's, do I count this as an attack? Go ahead and add a, I forget, is there a moderate consequence on your consequence track?
I
Yeah.
have no consequences on my consequence track.
No, I'm talking about like a slot for it.
No, there's no slots for it on our sheet, but yes, there is a moderate consequence. There's mild, moderate, severe.
Great. Please take a moderate consequence.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna say withdrawal is the best way to phrase this.
that's really bad.
Yeah, it's gonna take you like a bit to shake this off. You'll probably be fine in like a day or so, unless you do something to like directly counteract this. It'll go away on its own, but if you don't, but you can take steps if you want to try and like feel better.
That sounds like mild. Moderate is like more severe.
Okay, then yeah, let's do a mild.
Like moderate takes like a week or so. Like it has to go through the
Okay.
stage of being moderate
Yeah,
and
it's
then
his,
go down to
okay.
mild.
It's his first time. Then yeah, Greg, please take a mild consequence of withdrawal.
Type mild consequence withdrawal.
Yeah, so you're currently laying on the floor, and the slight cold of the grate on the floor is the first. It's the closest thing to relief that you can feel at the moment.
Basically,
I love you, great on the floor.
Basically,
Great
how
on the floor, you're
consequences
my
work is
friend.
the same as your trouble aspect.
Okay.
Where anytime a NPC or a bad guy invokes your consequence, I believe you get a fate point back, but you take that.
That is correct. Yes.
Good, I'll throw up on him.
Peter's like on top of the bar, peeking over it to look at Kanar on the floor.
He does not look okay.
Mm, hmm. You know, I had considered that this might be an addictive substance if consumed. I will continue to monitor.
I'm totally not addicted. I can quit anytime I want.
You know what?
Maybe
You had not even considered getting more. But now that someone said it, that sounds like a great idea, and you should totally go do that.
No, I will not. At least not immediately.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to, but like if it were brought to me,
Well,
I can quit my addictive substances whenever I want.
that's right. I can quit anytime I want.
Yeah, like I said, everyone just sees Kanor just fully collapse.
Oh, yeah.
Does he need medical attention?
He'll be able to get up in like a few minutes. You can probably pull himself to his feet, but yes, for the moment, he looks incredibly sick and will remain so unless he receives some sort of medical intervention.
What was the name of that vendor that stopped by?
Oile.
Yeah, Oyale.
Oyala.
So Cookie probably comes out of the kitchen and says something.
Great.
along the
The door gets kicked open as he hears a thump, and he looks down at you, like wondering what the hell you're doing. As he hoists you to your feet, and when you immediately collapse again, gives you like a "what the fuck" look. The consequences. Can I say, a hot sauce named The Consequences goes pretty hard. Great. He looks at all of you that are around at the bar, if anyone is, and starts yelling at you like you're somehow at fault for this.
I, still on top of the bar, look up at him as he is still much taller than me. And I point in like the direction of the door, and I tell him that Oyale stopped by, and then I point to Kanor, and I was like, and he drank 2 of the elixirs.
Does anybody here speak Wookiee?
I don't know.
Pretty much up
Yeah.
to your.
Yeah, me.
I think you actually established that you do not speak.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I probably do.
Great. He
Actually,
basically.
that's
Actually,
fun.
actually established in the hit show Star Wars: The Acolyte, they confirm that the Jedi Temple, like Shuriwook, is like one of the it's like their Spanish for us here in high school. Like that's the language that they most often teach people.
Is Wookiee?
Mm-hmm.
It means I
Oh.
probably speak it, but will absolutely not try and speak it because I don't want to.
I think Wookiees are one of the most prevalent races in Star Wars that cannot speak basic on their own but can understand it. So like that's probably why. Like most other species
Can
have
just speak
languages
Galactic
on their own.
Basic.
Right, but can also speak basic, and Wookiees I don't think can.
That's
They
fair.
don't have the mouth parts.
Mm-hmm.
Great. He essentially roars the equivalent speech of like, I knew he was a piece of shit. I didn't think he was a junky piece of shit. He hoists you up by the scruff of your neck, Kanor, and he deposits you on the other side of the bar and basically says, all right, he tells all of you basically, I don't want to see his ass in this bar until he sobers up.
Fair enough.
He advises you get into a doctor before he shits himself to death.
Well,
This is
All
the
right.
bullet I take so that my friends don't have to.
Pitter patter, I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
First off, where's the nearest doctor?
Okay. I point in the direction.
Okay.
There is, in fact, a clinic in town.
And second off, do you know if there's any local public buildings that we can hang out in that are across the street from the sheriff's office and the jail? Have a good
Considering the
view.
type of town, the size of it and stuff, I assume there's some type of building
There's
across
like
the
it's like a general store.
Oh, in that case, yeah, one of my favorite places.
Somewhere I could just hang around in for a little while, watching across the street.
Yeah, I hang out there all the time.
Yeah, it's like a general store. Like I said, it's like, if you go there to buy like food or clothing or hardware, no one's really gonna question if you're ambling around for a little bit.
yeah, where are the best places to loiter in town?
I mean, it's pretty much there because it's one of the only places that if you were just sort of standing around. I mean, then again, it's also a frontier town, so if you just kind of amble around for a bit, no one's really gonna give you too much shit unless you're really conspicuously like doing something.
Okay. So, who wants to take Kanor to the doctor? I'm going to go to the general store.
I'll take him to the doctor.
Mira has volunteered to take him to the doctor.
You know I'm just
okay.
going to sleep this off, right?
Well, I'm not sure what you
I will
drank.
tell you, your body feels like it wants to pass out and never wake up. Your brain is currently being deep fried. And not just deep fried, but like that really classy way they make French fries that like the really crispy ones where it feels like it's been deep fried, allowed to cool at room temperature, and then deep fried again.
Oh, right on.
It's developing a thin, glassy layer on top.
You paint such a vivid picture with such broad strokes.
Thank you. But yeah, sorry. So Mira's going. Cole is going to the general store. I'm assuming Pitter Patter is going with him.
Well, oh,
Since he
yeah,
said
I
he was
guess.
there- no, you can go either way. I thought you said you were going because it was your favorite place.
Yeah, I like it, and I would like to go there because that sounds fun. And I told him, but I guess I technically didn't tell him I would take him there. I told him that there was a place because that's what he asked.
You can
But
go where you like. I'm just assuming.
yeah, but like Kanor's my friend, and he's having a hard time, and he needs to go to the doctor. And Mira's gonna help him, but he's heavy.
All right, that's fine.
You can use your spider bot to tow him.
Yeah, that's what I
It needs repairs, but it'll do this job at least.
thought I fixed it last time.
Oh no, you did. I think. Check your notes. See if it still has the hotspots on it.
You are
No.
correct. I still have a spot here. It says extensive repairs needed.
Yeah, so it means you're going to need to roll a crafts and resources check to solve it.
Okay.
For now, real quick, who else is going? Who is going where?
I'm going to the general store as well because I'm now interested in this new conspiracy.
I'm
Okay.
going wherever I'm being carried.
Yeah. I'll help Mira load Kanor onto the robot so that we can take him to the doctor.
Great. So we're gonna split off real quick. We're gonna quickly follow Mira, Pitter Patter, and Kanor over to the doc's office. Do you think Pitter Patter has ever had an occasion to go to the doctor since they've been living here?
Probably for something stupid, like an injury caused while building a thing or something. Like, the immediate thought that comes to mind is how my dad does not seek medical attention when he harms himself while fixing things.
Can you describe the pain between 1 to 10? I'm here, ain't I? Oh shit, get the morphine.
Oh my god.
So something like that. Because, like, my dad literally cut the tendon in his thumb. And, like, I don't even think he took, like, household pain medicine. And he just, like, put some tape on his hand because his thumb was, like, hanging loose.
Is this the time that Ryan's grandpa got shot and then just, like, showed up at their house later and was like, yeah, I'm fine?
It's just like,
got stabbed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
And
sorry.
he never showed up at our house. He went to the hospital.
No, but then that afternoon he was like, oh yeah, I got stabbed. And Ryan was like, when the fuck did you get stabbed? Last night.
No, it wasn't that immediate, but and we found out from mom, from my mother-in-law, but yeah.
yeah. So one of those things, when Pitter Patter has come in with, like, basically maybe, like, a dislocated shoulder or something, and it's just like, so this happened a couple hours ago. And it's like, why didn't you come in? I was working on something.
I think Pitter Patter is a big fan of the doctor.
They're nice, and they give me lollipops at the end.
So as you head in, you hear like a grown man yelling and begging to be let go from the inside.
That's normal. Don't worry
Like,
about
no, go on, let go of me! Get up off of me! Get up off of me! As you walk through the door, and you see on one of the exam tables, you see a man like thrashing around, like holding something at arm's length as you see a robotic arm, like a pneumatic arm, trying to force a lollipop into his mouth. You see a large, like, it's very clunky for a medical droid. It's basically a large, like tripod. It's less like a wheel and more like a mini tank tread. At the feet that goes up into like a ball for the body with a series of rotating arms in and out of it, and then a screen on top displaying a smiley face.
This is also one of my favorite places.
As the lollipop is shoved aggressively into its mouth, or into the guy's mouth as he quiets and like fusses about like he will not let this man go. As he goes, all right then. Now he's like, All right then, little boy. This man is clearly in his late 40s. It's like, you go on and get on out of here, and I don't want to see you around until it's time for your next checkup. Oh, would you look at that? It's like 3 new buckaroos. Come on. It's like 3 new buckaroos. Come on in with a boo-boo and need some healing.
I
There.
wait.
Well, hi there. And he goes, who do we got here?
I'd point to Kanor.
Great. He wheels over. Mira, what's your first impression of this guy?
That he's fucking way too loud.
He's like, allow me to introduce myself. And he tells you that he is a K1XD -7 Category 6 medical droid, or Category 6 pediatric class medical droid. But y'all can call me Doc Smiley.
Doc Smiley. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So I was going to ask you how many thumbs the doctor had before finding out that it was a robot.
Yes, this is Doc Smiley, a pediatric medical droid, repurposed to help out all the little buckaroos, cowboys and cowgirls in this fine little as the entire screen goes pure, like, snow static, glitches out, a spark shoots out of the side of his head, and he comes back on and he goes, oh yeah, he was in town. Now, what do we get? What do we got here? The little guy, as 2 arms come out and lift Kanor into the air. And he goes, the little guy here maybe got a little upset tummy from too many sweets.
I take out the 2 vials that Kanor previously had his potions in, and I hold them out. I don't know if this will help. He drank the stuff that were in these.
Oh, and he goes, well, you know what they say, too many sweets before dinner will give you a right awful stomachache. Let's see what we can do there, as he drags your barely conscious body over to a table.
Ow.
As several of the arms start spinning around and preparing an IV drip. As he spins around to you, and he goes, now then, and he goes, are you going to, and he goes, now then, little girl, are you going to introduce me to your friend? And he goes, don't be shy. And he goes, don't be shy. Doc Smiley is here to help.
Which one of us was he addressing when he said that?
He was addressing you, and then when he said don't be shy, he looked at Mira.
Okay.
He's, don't be shy. Doc Smiley is here to help.
He drank these things and then is this now?
He was saying that while he takes care of Kanor, he was
He's asking for introduction.
He's asking your name and if there's anything that he can help with.
Oh, my name is Mira, but I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm also good today, but can I have a lollipop?
2, please.
Mm-hmm. Great. How old are you, Mira?
Like 15, 16.
In Doc Smiley's mind, you are 6 years old.
That's cool. I want a lollipop.
Great. A hatch opens as 2 lollipops are dropped into a little vending machine grate. And his pneumatic little claw arms pick them up and say, well, and he goes, normally my base programming forbids giving these out to just anybody, but seeing as how you helped out your friend here like 2 brave little buckaroos, I think I think you 2 deserve a little reward.
Yay!
Yay!
Mm-hmm. Extends you the lollipops and then gives you a little pat on the head with the claw.
I accept the pat. The pat is good. There is purring noises. What color are the lollipops?
What color are the lollipops? I need to make a decision now as to whether or not he is purchasing these or they are produced somehow inside of Doc Smiley.
He has the equivalent of an ice making machine, but it fills it with sugar water.
Great. You know what? I'm gonna say they are currently just clear.
The most unsettling answer you could have given.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, I just accept one then.
He tells you, Paul. He goes, and he says, now they're plenty sweet, but he says they're plenty sweet as they basically just taste like sugar water.
Which is fine.
He basically tells you that his artificial flavoring cartridge is running a bit low, and the doc ain't been out. And he says the doc ain't been out to replace that in some time.
I can fix it. I can help.
Oh well, that is awful sweet of you. But my base programming says that only the authorized. He says that only the authorized owner and operator of this unit is allowed to perform maintenance. And the only person who owns that is the doc. As he kind of gestures to like a back room with a locked door.
What if I got permission?
Oh well, then he goes. Oh well, then I would be pleased as punch. I would just be pleased as punch. And I'll tell you what, it is awful sweet of you to be thinking about little old Doc Smiley. You gather from like your time in town, there is a human doctor, or at least an organic doctor that owns this place.
Mm-hmm.
No one in town has ever seen them.
Cool. I'm
They
gonna
don't
knock
take-
on his door.
Great. You hear someone moving around in there. You got nothing.
Hey, can I have permission to fix Dr. Smiley? I put my ear to the door.
Great.
listen.
It's like a long time before you hear anything back, and like a very clearly like hoping you will leave.
I say it next. I don't have anything better to do for a while. I can wait.
Great. A voice comes back through, and it basically just yells. You know what? Not even basically. It flat out says, "No, he's working fine. No, he's working fine. Piss off." And he goes, "If you need medicine, drop your credits in the box and then leave."
But he's sparking and his flavors aren't working anymore.
Great. You look over. Doc Smiley has, as Kanor, please remove the consequence from your sheet. Kanor?
I've got it. Remove the consequence from my sheet.
You mentally come to rocking slowly in the air as Doc Smiley has dispensed a sort of conveyor belt-esque contraption out of his stomach, deposited you on it, and it's slowly rocking you back and forth like a baby. Well, he's asking you if the bravest little cowpoke in town feels any better. You do not remember how you got here, nor do you remember this man.
But I think I like it. No, I'm only kidding.
This better not awaken anything in me.
Hey! What on earth? What in tarnation is going on here?
Well, he goes, well there, little boy. And he goes, your nice little friends here noticed that you were having a little rumbly in your tumbly after eating too much candy. And he goes, and they done brought you in here so Doc Smiley can have a look at you and get you all fixed up.
Well, much obliged, Doc, but I think I'll be on my way now.
Oh, and he goes, great. He says, alrighty then. Well, I just need to ask you. And he goes, my protocol requires that in return for administered care, or he says that in return for administered care, I receive a deposit of credits. And he goes, that I leave you with a little something as a little hatch in his side opens as you see a little claw comes out holding a clear lollipop. And it starts to move. It starts to move towards your mouth in the way that someone like putting a breaker in their panel.
I'll grab it.
It is an inevitable, like, he's going to do this.
I'm just going to grab it out of the claw.
Right. He does not release it. He continues to move towards you. Now there. If you don't stop being fussy, then He says, if you don't stop being fussy, then you're not gonna get your lollipop. Pop, 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 pop.
Pitter patter, did you do this?
No, I'm busy right now. I am repetitively and rhythmically knocking on the door until I annoy him and he gives me permission.
Yeah, no, he just tell the voice inside of the doc is the only way you've ever heard him addressed, by the way, is everyone who addresses him just calls him the doc. No one knows his name.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, just tells you through the door, he's doing fine. Call you if something changes. In the meantime, I'm not seeing any patients right now.
I'm not trying to see you. I'm trying to fix Dr. Smiley.
Yeah, no, there's a silence indicating that he has said what he needs to say on the subject. He's not the talkative sort. Yeah.
I look at the handle.
Mm-hmm.
And I look back at Doc Smiley. And I consider how hard it would be to unlock this door.
Roll me an investigate. Difficulty 2.
I know lots of things.
Not only do you know exactly how easy it would be to unlock this door, I'll say that if you want to, you know basically the equivalent of like the bump trick where if you choose to unlock this door, you don't need to roll burglary.
Okay.
Not a strong lock.
It's not even that it's not a strong lock, you just understand it fundamentally so well that it is effectively not locked for you.
Yeah, it's just like if you turn this slowly at just this right amount of speed, it tricks it into thinking it's unlocked.
Pretty much.
I'll do it. And I like slip in all quiet, like.
Great, you're just gonna open the door and slip in.
Mm-hmm.
Great, Mira, you're watching Pitter Patter do this, and then you look over and also see Kanor being cradled in the strong pneumatic arms of Doc Smiley, holding back the lollipop with a very much the same way as the first guy that was in here, just like no, Doc, I appreciate it, but
like the Doc Smiley.
Yes, I'm not liking this at all.
Doc.
You said. Great. His head rotates to look at you.
I don't think it's a good idea for him to be having more sweets if what brought him in here was a tummy ache from too much sweets.
Roll me. Roll me rapport difficulty of 1.
-3.
Wow. Now there, little one. And he goes, I'm the doctor here. I can assure you, after what I gave him, he is right as rain. And he goes, and my protocol clearly indicates that every little one that comes in gets a free lollipop for being a good little cowpoke.
What's that name, Kanor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kanor, can I have your lollipop?
Yes, please.
That's the vibe.
Oh my god.
Yes, please. Take it. Help.
So real quick, I'm gonna say you slip into the doc's office, but we are gonna cut away real quick over to the general store with our other 2 party members.
Okay.
Yeah, you're hanging out there just watching the sheriff's department.
Yep, perusing the shops, waiting for the sheriff to, like, presumably he's already put the guy behind bars. I'm waiting for the sheriff to step out for a little while.
Great. I'm gonna say around lunch. He steps out and goes like walking across town to probably grab a drink, meet some people, just perform his daily rounds.
As he steps out, I kind of make a like whistle over to Shar, who's also kind of pretending to busy himself in the general store, and head across the street.
Jar, are you going with?
Yeah.
Did you two discuss what you were gonna do before you came in here?
No.
Great. Yeah. Hello there, whoever's joined.
Hello.
Great. So you're breaking into the police station.
As we're crossing the street, well, I assume that it's a public building. As we're
Yeah,
crossing
yeah.
the street, I kind of, under my breath, or like to ourselves, just say to Shar, like, I got a bad vibe off. I got a weird vibe off of the guy that got thrown in prison. I want to have a talk with him.
Are you telling me that you have a bad feeling about this?
Not a bad one, just a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Noted.
Not a bad one, just a what? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Just a feeling.
Oh, just a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So I head over to the sheriff's office.
Great. You kind of slip in. It is like the holding area it is through a door, like towards the back of the room. It's not like it's not exactly the typical like old west thing where the cell is just in the same room as the main desk.
Right. Yeah.
But you can see down the hall. You can see he is just like still sitting in the cell back there.
Okay, and there's no other no like deputy or anything in here? Is he by himself in here?
Seems like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say you see it's a younger guy, like younger guy sitting at the front desk.
Oh, okay.
Seems like he's in his 20s, real like kind of like upbeat younger dude. The only thing is, you notice he is wearing like a big set of almost like welder's goggles. He kind of looks up and he goes, "Hello, someone there?" All right, goodbye, Kazran. But he kind of looks up like, "Hello, who's there?" Oh, Ben, hello.
Oh, that was
Okay.
Catherine.
Everyone disconnected.
No,
I am here.
I'm here.
No, Ben and Daniel both disconnected.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we're on one thing, so yes, we both
I
disconnected
think
as
from
in one.
Discord as well, or not Discord, from Fantasy Grounds, because that too.
Oh yeah, our internet got kicked out because there's a storm going on.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
I will say you go in. It is 10. Do you guys want to call it for the night?
No, I'm fine to keep going.
Right. I mean, he's then the little deputy guys at the desk going, "Hello, hey, who's there?"
I mean, I just walked in. I figured he could literally see me.
Oh, and he goes, "Hey, how y'all doing? Sheriff will be back in a little bit. He just stepped out for a minute to do his rounds."
Oh, not a problem. How should we go about this? Do you want to make up a lie or do you want me to try to do it? I think I have a 0 deceive.
I am canonically very bad at lying.
Okay. I ask him. Oh, darn! I thought I could catch the sheriff. I wanted his permission to talk to one of the people back there in the cells, if that's all right with you.
Oh, I don't know about that. And he goes, "Why? Is it someone you know or friend of yours got picked up?"
No, we were the ones who helped out Bale's daughter, rescued her from the gang
I heard
yesterday,
about
and
that.
we wanted to know.
Terrible business.
I wanted to know if this guy that sheriff picked up had anything to do with it, or knew where some of the runaways went, because some of them got away. We don't want any kind of thing like that happening again, so I just wanted to ask him. real quick, see if he knows anything about them or where their hideout is?
Tell you what, roll me a report difficulty of 2.
Okay. Oh, come on. It says I have the internet back.
Mine says that I don't have internet, so
Really?
Well, one
I
you
of
might
can-
need to.
If
I-
you want to tell me your rapport, I can roll it for you.
I can assure you that you have internet because we're still reading you 5 by 5.
Mm-hmm.
You're on my phone.
Oh.
Ben, what is your rapport?
I don't know. I'm trying to join into the campaign again.
I can pull it up.
Why is this?
Son who is freaking out because the internet is out and he has no patience.
Oh my god! What a jerk! It's so ridiculous.
Let's see.
I have no patience. No patience.
I also don't know if you have.
The boy has no patience.
Great. You got a 3, Ben.
All right, cool.
He just goes, oh. You know, I suppose sheriff did say sheriff did say if any of y'all come by to help you out for a spell, I suppose it couldn't hurt. He kind of waves you back through and he says, just make it quick, all right? And he goes, sheriff will be awfully. Sheriff Heron will be awfully sore at me if he finds out, but same time y'all did do us a mighty good favor, so.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to follow up on a lead for the good sheriff.
He pops open the door for you, and it's like a go about your business kind of thing.
All right, I head down the hall and try to find the inmate that
Great. He is. Great. He's way in the back, the last cell. He's sitting on the floor. He's wearing like a pair of black like canvas pants with no shirt on. You can see he's bare chested, and the like crystal growths kind of continue on his chest and out of his shoulders and arms as he's just sat staring into dead space ahead of him.
Okay. What is going on here? There we go.
But yeah, as he is sat staring into dead space ahead of him, and then kind of flicks eyes over briefly to look at you.
So I walk up to the cell, to the what I assume is probably a what's it called? A force field wall.
Yeah, it's the red wall with the line of energy that occasionally passes over it.
Yeah. So snooping around the governor's mansion. Interesting.
Great. He kind of like just takes a breath and like just like looks to consider you and just kind of holding eye contact.
Come on, there we go. So I tell him, it seemed like you had a very intense interest with me before, earlier today. Where'd that go? Paper towel.
Great. He says that he he says that you carry a. He says you carry a spark with you, and he says that it is by the flow of the wind. My fire resonates with curiosity.
I see. Hold on one second.
Ooh, dropping a funky beat.
Ooh. Well, that's happening.
Okay.
Mhm.
Kara just called me and asked me to go pick her up from work, so I
Oh,
need
damn.
to head off for like 10 minutes.
I was gonna say then, honestly, if you're gonna have for 10 minutes, it's already like 10:30. I think at that point we would just call it because I do have to be up at work tomorrow.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
What's
I
up?
know storming outside. She won't wait. All right. I guess we'll do it next time.
That's all right.
We can finish yours. I was gonna say I can at least. You know what? I'll tell you at least what if you can stay for like 2 minutes. The beginning of what happens with Kayla, because it'll be a nice stinger. As you approach him, he says some cryptic shit at you. What's up?
You mean with pitter patter?
With pitter patter, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm saying you like approach this guy. He says some cryptic bullshit that'll get resolved next time.
Okay.
Pitter patter, you open the door to the office, and you're just kind of peeking in, like looking for the doc, right?
Yeah, I'm also just a little bit suspecting because of the responses and kind of lack of responses that I received that maybe he's actually recording. So I'm also looking for that.
Oh, so you've gone full conspiracy theory. The doc isn't real. Doc Smiley has gained sentience and has taken
There's
over
a
the hospital.
possibility it's still a person, but if not, I'm definitely looking for something playing a recording of a person's voice.
Are you trying to be stealthy upon your entrance?
I considered it, but like,
You're fully just walking in.
yeah.
It's a recording. It doesn't know you're there.
And if it's a person, then I imagine this will also potentially lead to the being so annoyed with me, he just gives me the permission I want. So,
you see the.
If I walk in normally, I just opened the door. It was not locked.
You see a man sitting in a chair. He kind of, when he sees the light, you can actually hear his voice more clearly now that it's not through a metal door. As you can now hear an accent that you didn't hear before. As you hear what the hell? And he goes, I thought I locked that damn door. And he goes, you get the hell out of here. As you see the man turns around, he's a tall, older man, looks to be in his like early to mid 50s. Like tan brown skin, with a close cropped buzz cut on his head. And those of you who know what accent I'm doing will know why that's the stinger drop for the week.
That is really cool. Ben did have to leave to go pick up Caitlin from work because it's storming outside and she has to wait outside.
Cool. Then you can explain to him what that means.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll tell him what happened.
As he just turns around with like,
He can
what's
watch
up?
it. It's been recorded. He can watch it later.
Yeah, right on.
True.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and that'll do it, I guess, this week for Star Wars Manifest. Sorry if it was a little light on content this week. I'm trying to get the establish some of the locals for you guys.
Yeah.
But some very important things have been set up. So in 2 weeks when we recoup, we're gonna have some interesting things to follow up on.
Real facts.
Right on.
Yep.
Good job, Luke. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You're a good liar.
I'm not lying.
Dr. Smiley. I think he might be one of my favorite characters so far.
I love Doc. When I invented Doc Smiley, I was like, yes, I've done something.
Luke is now 2 for 2 on very good Doctor characters.
Well, I wanted to have someone unsettling. But I didn't want to just do Dr. Thumbs again, and I was like, what would be a good bit? And I was like, ooh, it's a shitty clinic where the only medical droid that they could afford in this town was a decommissioned pediatric droid who just thinks that everyone is a child.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to end the recording at this point, so any last words from anybody?
Butthole.
Well, you came through and said it at least one more time.
We brought it back, bitches.
Good night, all.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.